You tell yourself you're gonna be good with food, you stick to the plan, but then boom, you binge eat. You lose control. You feel terrible, and then you tell yourself, I'm not gonna do this again tomorrow. But then the cycle repeats. And if you're stuck in this cycle, I want you to know this is not about willpower. The reason why you feel out of control around food is something that no one is talking about. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly why this happens and exactly how to break free. And by the way, if you are feeling imprisoned in this out of control relationship with food and you would love instead to find peace and freedom, I have a full free masterclass on this that will teach you the 3 keys to break free, and the link to that is in the description, completely free. Here's why willpower isn't the problem. Binge eating is a survival response. It has nothing to do with willpower. Your body isn't failing you, it's actually protecting you. So I remember sitting in my kitchen feeling completely defeated, makeup all over my face, food smeared all over my face, cupboards all open after yet another binge, wondering why I had no self-control. What was wrong with me that I couldn't figure this out? I remember having to call a best friend often when I was going through these binges to have someone to hold me accountable to stop continuing to eat. And I constantly thought that there was something wrong with me, that I couldn't figure this out. And I had done therapy and I had done so many different things to try and figure out this issue that I had with food where I felt completely out of control. But I realized the thing that started to set me free was this acknowledgement that this wasn't actually about willpower. I was such a determined individual and it had nothing to do with willpower. It was about my body trying to keep me safe. And we're going to talk about what that means. So your nervous system plays a massive role in this, which is the number one thing that nobody seems to talk about when it comes to binge eating, and the number one thing that is actually going to set you free from this. So when your body feels unsafe and your nervous system is stuck in a dysregulated state, meaning it gets stuck in either the sympathetic or the dorsal branch, the emergency state branch of your nervous system, dorsal vagal shutdown, your nervous system does not feel safe. It is in a stress response. And so when our body is in that state, it causes us to crave things like food, specifically sugary, salty foods, and food becomes a form of regulation. One of the things that often puts our nervous system in this dysregulated state that causes binge eating is constant restriction, which, thanks to diet culture, most women in this world struggle with consistent dieting and restriction, and therefore their body is constantly put in a stress state, which then causes them to make binge eating inevitable. Other reasons why our nervous system becomes reliant upon food as a coping strategy are things like, when we're children, our parents often teach us in stressful environments, if you hurt yourself, you fall down, or your parents are arguing, often the coping strategy is, oh, why don't we just go get you a lollipop, or here's some food to make you feel better. Food becomes this association with safety in the nervous system at a very young age. And so we learn naturally through repetition, food is what I use to soothe myself when I feel unsafe. And the nervous system is actually very intelligent. So for most of us that struggle with this relationship to food where we feel out of control, if we didn't in fact use the food to soothe ourselves, far worse things would happen to your nervous system, to your physiology inside your body. I want you to understand that your nervous system is trying to protect you by using this food to soothe you and the stress that is so unbearable for your body. But the really positive thing here is that we can actually teach your nervous system other tools that are far more effective than using food as a coping strategy, because we know that the typical cycle is I get triggered by something, I feel out of control around food, and I eat, and then I feel guilty, and then I feel ashamed, and then I tell myself I'm not going to do this. And that guilt and shame spiral is something that further stresses the nervous system, which ironically just feeds more of this feeling out of control with food cycle. We need to actually realize that this isn't about the food. There are much deeper reasons beyond the food that are causing us to feel out of control with it. And the first way to start feeling in control around food is to actually start getting in control of your nervous system. And I'll show you a few little techniques that you can use to do that. And remember, if this is resonating with you and you want to have total freedom with food instead of feeling controlled by it, then I have a full masterclass that teaches you the 3 keys to develop food freedom, and it's completely free, and the link is in the description so you can grab that. Okay, so the path to freedom, as we talked about, the real solution is healing your nervous system and shifting your relationship to food, because your nervous system is the gateway to you having freedom and peace with food. If we don't address the root cause and the nervous system, nothing is going to change effectively in your relationship with food. And this is where so many people go wrong, is they try to change their behaviors with food. They try to just focus on, okay, well, I'll change what time I eat dinner, or I'll change the foods that I eat, or I'll change how I exercise. Like, none of those behaviors are addressing what's really going on at the root, which is causing you to feel out of control with food. So we have to work with the nervous system. So a very simple and very effective tool that I want to introduce you to, in case you don't know it yet, is EFT, otherwise known as tapping. So I want you to tap on these points that I'm tapping on. So mirror me if you can. And I'm going to introduce you to a round of tapping. So we start on the side of the hand. We go towards the point in between the eyebrows next. So you can use your right hand or left hand. And then we're going to start tapping on the side of our eye. So right or left side, doesn't matter. Under the eye. Under the nose. Under the lips. See, I'm already getting so relaxed. Onto the collarbone. Last 2 points, we go under the armpits. You can use your opposite hand if you like, or the same hand, although that's kind of awkward. I always reach across. And top of the head. Beautiful. So here's how you're going to use this tool. You can keep cycling through these tapping points for 5 minutes a day, and that's going to do amazing wonders for your nervous system. You wouldn't believe the shifts that are going to happen and how much safer you're going to feel. And the other thing is, a lot of times we are using food to cope with emotions that we don't feel strong enough to deal with. And so we have so much sitting beneath the surface that feels painful that it feels far too much to bear, and we're just going to drown ourselves in food. We do the same thing with binge watching TV. So I want you to dedicate 5 minutes a day, and you're not going to do this perfectly, so we're going to love and accept ourselves anyways. Set a goal of spending 5 minutes a day tapping through these points like this continuously with no distractions, no phone, no nothing. Just sitting there and notice what's coming up, and know that you're strong enough to hold whatever feelings are there, okay? So creating that space in your day is very important, because you're going to give your body space to breathe where we don't normally give it any space to think or feel safe or anything like that. And you're going to allow your body and your nervous system the space to start feeling more safe and building more capacity, which is a very big part of healing our relationship with food. I promise, if you do even this, you're going to message me some pretty incredible things. I just know it. So we're going to finish this tapping round. Yawning is very common. Eyes watering. Wow. Whew. I'm feeling so relaxed already. So there we go. Let's recap. We're going to focus on healing our nervous system and building more capacity and safety, because that is a gateway to you feeling free in your relationship with food and not controlled by it anymore. You don't need more willpower. You just need to focus on your nervous system. And again, there's a free full masterclass for you going more in depth on this and teaching you exactly how to break free and have a peaceful relationship with food. And I highly recommend that you grab that, because I think it will be absolutely life-changing for you. So that is in the description. And I have a whole other playlist here dedicated to resources to help you heal your relationship with food, and a lot of evidence-based exercises that I teach you as well. So this is coming from someone who used to spend her whole life feeling out of control with food. I've tried therapy, I tried nutritionists, I tried hormone specialists, you name it. But these techniques that I'm teaching you and being able to work with the nervous system was what effectively healed my relationship with food. And it's what I teach women all around the world to do as well. So hope you have a restful rest of your day, and I'll see you again next week. And you got this. You're not alone.